my understanding.
Here in Seashore, are you in favor of where the city is arranging to bring this back?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We need as many events like that on the beach as we can get. And we need to bring more to bring tourists here. One of the things that I want to do, that I think that we need, is we need some type of a small artificial type reef where people can snorkel to from our beach. Whether it's rocks, so I know, we're going to have some headaches in terms of making sure it doesn't mess up the beach erosion, but we need for people to be able to come here and snorkel off the beach and see some fish and some coral and things of that nature. I don't think it would cost a lot of money, but we need something to revitalize, to bring more people down to the beach, more families. We're not South Beach, but we've got to take advantage of what we do have. We've built out our beach. We've got all these high rises over there, and gosh knows when they're actually full what it's going to be like trying to get around there on a Friday or Saturday night. But it's there. We can't do anything about it. But I'd still like to see the old Howard Johnson's property hopefully develop to something good. Let's bring a reason for people who want to come to Fort Lauderdale. And I think snorkeling from the beach, or maybe even some light skin diving, on something that they can go from the beach so they don't have to get in a boat and go out to Port Everglades and go a mile off, I think is something that really we should look at to try to do.
What kind of development or redevelopment does your district need, or what's your stance on growth there?
We got a lot of work to do down Davie Boulevard. As you know, my district is the south part of town. The part that I see most neglected, I think, is Davie Boulevard. I see all the small businesses packing up and just going away. And that's the strength of a town like this, is small businesses. We've got to get our development people in there to see what we can do to help them to make that work. Otherwise, that place is going to continue to decay. To a lesser extent, State Road 84 doesn't look that good either. You see a lot of those businesses boarding up. I think we've got to do more in terms of Federal Highway when people come into the airport, which is in our district, to dressing that up to make us look like a first-class city. And I think, we are a first-class city, but we just need to dress things up a little bit. I think everybody's pretty happy. And, I live in Harbor Inlet just on the east side of the bridge. Everything's over there looks pretty good, and everything seems to be pretty happy. Same with Rio Vista and some of the other neighborhoods. But I think certainly around the Davie corridor, we can do a lot more to get those small businesses back up and running and make that place look a lot better and a lot more appetizing for people who live.
Do you see a candidate in the mayor's race that you favor or see yourself working with best?
Well, it's kind of an unfair question. I've known Jack Seiler for 15 years. I consider him a personal friend. And I think he's a very good guy. I've had a chance to meet the other three. Mr. Rossi I've known for a time, and I find him to be very pleasant, too. So I kind of got to know them all. But it's kind of unfair because I know Jack so long, and I consider him a friend, and I know him very well, as opposed to the other three that I don't really know.
Okay. Any other questions? Anything else you want to leave us with? Any
That's
ideas?
it?
Yeah.
These are short.
Oh, my goodness. All right.
Well, anything else you want to add? Anything we haven't talked about that you think would be a priority?
Well, I'm having my big barbecue Saturday. Please see I'm having a big free barbecue. Not only is Jim Lewis running a campaign that's sponsored by himself, he's having a family barbecue.
Aw. What do you think about Cindy's performance? Has she been a good commissioner?
I think when she came in, she was very good. But a lot of people now are criticizing that she kind of went over to the developer side, and a lot of people criticized her for that. And I don't know, I think maybe some of the criticism is unfair. But, that's just a perception. And people are very mixed in the district when you talk about Cindy. Half think she's good, and half think she sold us out. So I don't know. I just think that I'm different from the other guys. I don't believe in aristocracies for city government. My upbringing was not in this area and was lower middle class, but I learned from that the value of hard work and the value of trying to give people a good, honest day's dollar work for the dollar that they give you. I've had clients my entire life that I've been in private practice, and I think I know how to serve a client and how to be a good public servant, and that's what I want to be.
Since you brought that up, could you talk just for a moment about your representation of Lionel Tate?
Again?
Please.
Well, what can I do? I mean, you hate, it's when you're a lawyer as long as I am, and I've had so many cases, But yeah, everybody remembers me from Lionel Tate. That was a very high profile and difficult case, and I took that case on. He was 12 years old, and I believe that he did, and I still believe to this day, that he did not mean and intent to seriously harm that little girl. But he did. And he was convicted, and we all worked together. A lot of people got involved and got him a second chance at life. And he went out and he let us down. He did. But I haven't given up on him. I'm still helping him. I resolved his second case, and now I'm trying to get the 30-year sentence reduced. I'm trying to, Ellis Rubin was representing him when he got the 30-year sentence, so I'm filing motions to try to get the judge to reconsider, lowering it maybe to 20 years.
So it's kind of a case that haunts you?
Sure, it haunts me. I mean, here's a little kid that's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. But we gave him the break, but then he let us down. But I still don't give up on people. I don't want to give up. And I developed a bond with that child. He's not a child anymore. He's a man. But I developed a real relationship with him, and I'm never going to forget him, and I'm never going to stop trying until I'm dead to try to get him at least a little better sentence. We had the other child who killed a baby with a bat or something, and that kid got juvenile sanctions, and he didn't get 30 years in jail. And I think there's a lot of that. It was the backlash because of Lionel. Everybody was so outraged that he got a life sentence, and but then Lionel let us down, and he got the additional punishment. But I'm still trying to help him.
How would you balance, your job with a commission job? Is a commission job part-time?
I don't think you can consider it part-time at all. But, I'm to the point in my life that I'm lucky enough, I've been successful enough in my practice that I can push it a little. I have a person that I basically share office space with, give him some of the work. I've done enough. I'm 51 years old, and I'm kind of, I won't say burnout in criminal practice, but I'm looking for a new challenge. And I think this could be that. One of the things that I won't do if I'm elected is I won't represent people who have been arrested by the Fort Lauderdale Police Department, because I think that would be a conflict. So I won't take any of those cases anymore.
Okay. All right.
All right, thanks again.